Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the Operation Kandhar 6 video. This operation was on the north of the Czech Republic last weekend, from the 26th to the 28th of April. With our team, Task Force Stoupa Šámot, or in English, Slow Warm. We were part of the company Hotel 20. It was our fourth year on this operation specifically, and it was our first year as, let's say, command element of the Hotel 20 company, which was quite a new experience. We certainly have a lot to work on, however, we enjoyed it. And from the feedback of other guys, I think we certainly didn't fare badly. We rolled out from Prague at about 10 to 12 a.m. The first fuck up for us was that around 2 o'clock p.m. I got a phone call from one of our teammates that he forgot his combat boots at home. So it was immediately like that reaction, grabbing your hair, putting your forehead in your arms, like it's gonna go to shit, it's gonna be trash, but this is something that, in my opinion, is a part and should be a part of these events. I personally really enjoyed the, I'd almost say, stress and constant pressure of these operations. So I certainly did enjoy that. Then we split the team. A few people who were out for building the FOB, for building our tents. Few people who went to the registration, and some guys who went to the chronograph to check our guns. There was once again one little mishap. My gun wasn't feeding. I had too many O-rings in front of my hop-up chamber, so thank God, or not thank God, but since the quare is quite, the gun is quite messy sometimes, I removed two rings and it fed well, and it went to the strong gun category, so it was all good. Then we were RTR at about 6 o'clock p.m. So we missed the leaders briefing, which was certainly a fuck up from our side. We weren't ready on time, but thankfully the event was starting at 8 o'clock p.m. So we just, with my colleague, went for instructions at the briefing room, and we got everything. We got the PES, the line navigation softwares. We got the instructions for situation reports, salute protocols, and how to use the PES and everything. So we rolled out from the HQ at about 2030 hours. Before that, we were on the mission briefing, and again, it was some pressure to the head. The Bravo 21 company leader was telling us that we should be Hotel 21, however, we were Hotel 20, which was quite an interesting situation that ended up happening, since Hotel 30 guys, a lot of them, from what I gathered, a lot of them didn't show up on time. So there was basically a operational detachment where there was a Hotel 20, Hotel 21, and Hotel 30, which for me, yeah, it was just bad situation at that point. So we just followed orders from Stonewall, which was the main HQ, the high command, and that was to get to the Valley of Shadows and to continue to the point of interest 37. So we jumped in the cars, we got to the point at night, which I love all night missions. Even though we had just one NVG, it's always an amazing experience. I always love it. It's just, I'd almost say that the day operations just don't have the same vibe anymore. Anyways, we went to the point 37. There we met up with some group, and we didn't know if it was friendly forces or Taliban, because I forgot to ask at the leaders briefing for the question and answer. So, for example, this year it was Hviezda Praha, Star Prague, and we basically did it as we figured it out as an exchange for one of our soldiers, and they said they were without NVGs, and they saw that it was a ISAF soldier, so they just picked him up. We made a regroup and held the point for until 11 p.m. Here we made the regroup actually with Hotel 21 and Hotel 22. Also, what I'd mention, just as a heads up for maybe some new players or people that don't go to these missions as often, since unfortunately they have quite a bad reputation in the Czech Republic sometimes, or maybe it's just degrading, which for me is very unfortunate, since I'd say these are some of the best events that Europe can offer from Airsoft Wars. Always listen to your leader, or follow the chain of command. If it's Bravo 21 or not Bravo 21, I think it was Bravo 10 up there. Not to name anyone, let's just say some Bravo guys. They were telling us that Hotel 20 should go to point of interest 25, and I immediately sensed something fishy, since I was the RTO actually, and I always had the instructions from Stonewall, or the orders from Stonewall. I asked for these orders and they were incorrect. So just a heads up, if it's someone who isn't above you or on the same level as you, don't follow their commands, of course with common sense. If you don't have connection or something, or if it's beneficial at that point, alright, but always follow your leaders. Anyways, then we headed down the hill from the POI 37 and we went to the POI 20, where our group was supposed to regroup with other friendly forces and take a crate with intel and make a convoy with cars and escort it to the HQ. So we went there, we regrouped, and it was crazy, since so many people were without comms. I just found that there was like a funny story, which I found really funny, where there was a guy with TVS 31s, he had thermal clip-ons, crazy setup, he had PRC 152s with real push-to-talks, real peltors, and he couldn't get any comms for Stonewall. Meanwhile, me with two goddamn Baofangs and two just basic speaker mics, I was giving them the connection to Stonewall. So it's not always Gucci kit, guys. I don't want to blame the guys, since it seemed like it wasn't a problem on the personnel side. But yeah, always train in your kit, always train with your kit, and make sure comms are always functioning. Because in my opinion, and in the opinion of many guys who do this for a living, comms are just vital, man. Anyways, we regrouped, and our team, since we didn't have many NVGs or things like that, we were transporting the crate by foot, since game rules didn't allow transporting the Intel crate by car. So I, as a RTO for at that point, I even guessed 100 people. I sat in the back of a pickup truck, just kept my head down and just provided comms, since that was, yeah, I just didn't wanna die at that point. So we went and we made a regroup with 9 more cars, and then there was more struggles, since the first car, I don't know if they had a navigator or an RTO, but instead of taking a longer route, which should have been without any enemy contact, they took us into the Kandahar city, and basically there was just an extreme fight at that point. Fortunately, we secured the crate, and it was actually all 3 crates with Intel were secured for ISAF, which was an amazing experience. I just remember, yeah, hopping out of those cars, regrouping with my guys, and yeah, just fist bumping, just extreme emotions, and it felt amazing. And at that point, being in the back of a pickup truck, HPA direct tap to a giant tank, 20,000 rounds on tap, just going those tracers and everything. A lot of fucking chaos, a lot of fucking screaming, and I loved it. All of the guys loved it. So yeah, that was a extremely pleasant experience. Then we went grilling and we slept. Yeah, the Saturday event was, yeah, just classic, for these types of operations. In the morning, we were supposed to go to the Valley of Shadows, but to a different point of interest, and grab a point, or not grab a point, but support our friendly forces and retake the point of interest from the Taliban. We, as TFS, went out a bit later, and we went just on an asphalt road, which was off game bounds, which I found the safest. We actually managed to grab a car, even though I personally would say I don't like grabbing rides which aren't of your company, or at least of your platoon, because the general consensus between the owners of cars on these types of missions. I'm not here to haul your ass. If you want to haul your ass, get your own car. I didn't pay for these tickets, which are expensive for the cars, to haul absolute strangers. And I personally absolutely agree with that standpoint. And yeah, get in the comments, fellow influencers, not to name anyone, but I think a lot of our Czech viewers know who I'm referencing, about cars on Kandahar. Yeah, just yapping and crying that OMG, on a Milsim event we had to walk and follow orders. Anyways, we went to the Valley of Shadows, and yeah, again, extreme contact from the Taliban. Um, that's something from these events that I really like. Even though ISAF is known to always get clapped out by the Taliban, I just love the atmosphere. It's not even for me personally about kills or something like that, it's just the atmosphere. So yeah. Anyways, Then we, after the total wipeout, unfortunately, of the Hotel 20 platoon, we requested medevac. The medevac was denied. Actually, I denied it myself, and we just went by foot back to the HQ. Then there was quite a long refresh rate. It's about 3 hours for ISAF, so quite grueling. We just chilled, ate. By the way, the catering, I must say, was amazing. Like, for quite a good price, really good gyros, really good burgers, really good soup. So big thumbs up on that for Airsoft Wars. And yeah, anyways, we refreshed at about 14:45, and we were told that the next mission briefing is at 16 o'clock. At that point, I didn't want to take down the morale of our guys of the Hotel 20. They were excited for some fights. So what we did, we gathered about 60 guys and we went just for a patrol to just some random point. And thankfully for us, we actually got in a contact. It was about 10 Taliban dudes. We wiped them out and returned to base in about an hour. It was just a short raid, basically. Then at 16 o'clock, it was the main mission briefing for the final Saturday game, except the night one, where we were supposed to roll out, take 3 points. Where ISAF got totally clapped out. What I must say personally, I'm quite proud of our guys, since the ISAF dudes, they were stopping at about half a kilometer away from the POI, whereas we were really finding the path, and we actually got to the point itself. So even though we got totally clapped out by HPAs, but yeah, at least we pushed, we did everything we could, and we pushed a lot of the other ISAP guys who didn't push, which I always find a good thing. When others aren't pushing, always push. So yeah. Anyways, we were done fighting at about 19 o'clock, where it was, again, unfortunately, a total wipeout of Hotel 20. And we returned to base. And by the looks of the operation itself, we didn't even go to the night game. We actually wanted to chill. And yeah, I'm gonna take the criticism, but that's just our mindset on the thing. I actually, or not actually, but I was trying my best to give instructions to other guys in the Hotel 20 who did want to go out on Saturday night, but from what I've gathered, there wasn't even many guys who went out on Saturday night. Since, again, not general consensus, but I'd say the gossip is that ISAF are just a bunch of pussies who roll out at Saturday starting from about 9 o'clock. And that's from previous years. Yeah, it was sometimes true. Even though this year it was much better. There was a lot more ISAF guys even on Saturday or Sunday, sorry, who went to fight. So yeah, then we just grilled, we chilled, we went to the Kandahar city as dead people. We got some draft lemonade, which is, or not lemonade, but raspberry lemonade, which ran out on ISAP base. So we did some psychological warfare, where we decreased the morale of Taliban by drinking 5 liters of their own raspberry lemonade. And of course, we didn't drink it. We just brought a large bottle to the ISAF guys. So yeah, that was quite a fun experience. We got to chill with more guys who were our friends who were as Taliban. Anyways, by Sunday morning, not all, but half the guns clapped out for TFS. So morale was real low at that point, but I I have to give huge props to our guys who had functioning guns and still went to fight. Like big kudos to everyone. I was just with the guys who didn't have functioning guns. We just pulled out a notebook, pulled out our phones, and we were functioning as basically some sort of HQ element for Hotel 20. So yeah, in a nutshell, it was a amazing experience. I absolutely loved it. If I have to take out something, maybe for new guys, prepare that there will be stress. You won't have time to do your things. Um, Follow orders from only your leaders. Watch out for Taliban on your frequencies. Yeah, we had about 40,000 steps from the whole Kandahar. So be prepared that it's just grueling, man, grueling. So yeah, and with that, TFS signing out. Cheers, guys.